Welcome back to Wages and Employment at Wilfrid Laurier University. Today we're going to look at how we characterize labor supply over the life cycle. For reference, you should pair this video with readings in Chapter 4 of your textbook. There are many labor market outcomes we'd like to characterize over the life cycle, but one of the most common and simplest ways to describe labor supply is with the likelihood of participation each age. When you think about a person's life cycle, it's important to think about following individuals and the people born around the same time as them over their lifetime. We refer to that as following a single birth cohort. But we often see the likelihood of participating in labor force estimated for different age groups at a single point in time. Today, we want to make sure it's clear that the first option of following a cohort tells us about the life cycle, while the second option compares the situation of different generations at a single point in time. We'll start by looking at profiles for women. Consider the red dashed line representing participation rates for each 5-year age group observed in the Canadian Labour Force Survey in January and February of 2020. We see a sharp increase in participation at earlier ages, a fairly stable participation midlife, and then steep declines in participation as people reach conventional retirement ages. But this doesn't tell us much about the life experience of the individuals in this sample. For example, there was a 34 percentage point difference between our Generation X, 40-year-old women, and the baby boomer, 60-year-old women, where we see them both in the year 2020. Part of this difference is age, but you can see that part of it is also just a difference across generations, or what we call a cohort effect. Notice, by following the blue line, that the Generation X participation rate at age 40 is 4 percentage points higher than the baby boomers at the same age, which is on the solid black line. The cohort effect here is capturing this difference at the same age for the two generations. Most importantly, it's when we follow a specific birth cohort over time that we can measure the effect of age on labor supply. For our baby boomer women born between 1956 and 1960, there's a 30 percentage point difference between their participation at age 40 and at age 60. When we look at the participation profiles of men in Canada, we see different changes across cohorts. Notice that men born in the late 1990s are much less likely to be working at age 20 than men born in the late 1950s. We also see later generations more likely to participate at older ages. But again, we can see that it's important to follow cohorts as they age, rather than summarizing different age groups at one point in time, if we want to think about measuring age effects. In our next video, we're going to look more closely at the age effects, modeling decisions about how to work over our lifetimes in a dynamic model. See you then.